Hello everybody and welcome back. We are here for the third challenge that is running throughout November in my Facebook group, Non-Stop Papercrafts. These challenges link to the Christmas Wishes kit that I released this month. There is a 20% discount currently for that kit in my Etsy shop if you want to go and take advantage. It is just for the month of November, so it'll be back to normal price after that. With these challenges, I also have some freebies. So I'm going to share the freebie pages with you and then we'll talk about what the challenge is for this week. So we have a couple of background pages. We've got this faint green and mistletoe background page. We then have a kind of muted collage of all different Christmas text. So some of them are music sheets, some of them are advertisements. We've got tags, we've got a doily, and just some mixed papers. We then have some cut aparts, which might give you a little bit of a clue as to what we're making. So we've got a little stocking, which we've used in a previous challenge. We've got some words, we've got a couple of journaling cards and a pocket, and then a few other plainer journaling cards, and then one with lines, which again might make sense in a second. So they're the freebie pages. You can find those in my Facebook group, Non-Stop Papercrafts, or on my Ko-fi page if you do not use Facebook. They are for free on Ko-fi. Some people get a little bit puzzled because it asks you to put an amount. You just put in 0 and you get them for free. So the theme really this month has been tags. So in our first week we made some pocketed tags. We've got this fun upside down Santa with just his legs, and we've turned that into a journaling card. The first kind of tagged pocket that I made, I actually also made it into a bit of a booklet. And then we've got this one on the back, and then in the video I made this one, which isn't a booklet, it's just a double-sided tag. So we've got a pocket on this side, and then we just had the Santa journaling card on this side. So that was fun for week one. Then last week we made some different, more flat tags. So we had some traditional basic ones which you can write on the back. That's great for a gift. We also had the little hat, also great for a gift. And then we've got these ones where I've cut out the window, which is optional, you don't have to, but I have cut it out so you can see right the way through. We've got the image mirrored, and then you've got this sort of snowflake pattern on the acetate. And then this one was a shaker one, so we've got some glitter and sequins on there, but again it's just double-sided. And these are great for just decorating presents. You could of course keep the back plain if you wanted to, so you can write a little message. I know somebody's mentioned they're putting them on their tree, so lots of different things that you could do with these ones. So tags seem to be the theme, as I said, so I'm just going to move those out of the way. And I am going to do another pocketed tag, so I'm going to use this style pocket, and then I've got some journaling cards, but I kind of want to put a little twist on it. I want to create a little window with a hidden message as well. So that's where these bits come in. So let's start getting some things cut out. So I think I'll start with the pocket. Now you can use a trimmer or scissors or a mixture of both. I think I'm going to probably do a mixture of both. I'm just going to trim this down a little bit just so it's easier to fit into my trimmer. So we've got those. That's those separated, and that. So they're a bit more sort of fussy to cut out. Now I could have got my Cricut to cut these out. I do tend to get my Cricut to do my fussy cuts if they're really fussy, but since I haven't got anything that's particularly tedious, I don't mind cutting these by hand. And this I'm just going to do on my trimmer. So let's grab my trimmer and get these all cut down. Okay, so I'll start with some of the smaller bits. And like I said, you can do this with scissors. I'm not very good with scissors. I always still end up cutting things seriously wonky, which is why I thought I'd kind of get it started with my scissors and then finish off with my trimmer. As I said, if you have a Cricut machine, you can absolutely have your Cricut cut these out, or a scan and cut. People obviously have scan and cuts as well. They have got a black border around them, so that does make it easier if you've got a machine like scan and cut to find the edges. Because sometimes, even in Cricut Design Space, actually, when you upload it, if you've got a very light shape and then you try and erase the background, then it sometimes erases part of the shape as well. So having that black outline just kind of helps the machine pick up where it needs to cut. Okay, so they're all the bits and pieces cut out. So I do have to just finish off the pocket, but I thought I'd do that with you. And then you can kind of see how I'm doing it. So I just fold these over. Rather than trying to kind of fiddle in with my scissors in this crease, I just fold it over. And then obviously it's the same on both sides. So you can either now follow it, or I just use my corner rounder to then just snip off the corners. So it's up to you. Like I said, you can either follow the lines round or use your corner rounder. And then obviously for that dent in the middle, you can either use a circle punch, or you can use your scissors. I think I might just use my scissors this time, because I've got a 1-inch circle punch there, but that one's not wide enough for this particular thumb notch, so I'll just use my scissors. And I'll just follow it along, and then it does it both on both sides. So as I said, we could just keep it a standard pocket, and you absolutely can. So glue down your sides and fit your journaling cards inside. But I wanted to kind of make this a little bit different, and I want to make it a little bit like an advent window. So I am going to create a little window in mine. So I'm just going to get my small cutting mat and move those along. And obviously you want to open it up because you don't want to cut into both sides. I just want a window on one side. But before I do, I just want to draw out where my window's going to be. So obviously this is a checkered design, so that makes it a little bit easier because I can use the lines on here to help me line everything up. So you may also want to have a look and see what it is you want being shown. So if you want something like Merry Christmas, then you might just do a long thin window. If you want joy, then obviously it's going to have to be a taller window. If you wanted Santa's face being revealed, then obviously you might need to do something a little bit bigger. Happy New Year is obviously a lot bigger as well, so you're going to need a bigger window. We've obviously got these children. So yeah, it's up to you what you would like on there. So I'm thinking either Santa's face or something like joy or Merry Christmas. I think I might go with Merry Christmas actually. So obviously for this one I only need it to be a thin window. It doesn't have to be a huge window. So I'm just going to think, if this is stuck on the inside, this middle section is the bit that I want. So I'm just going to slide it to the side a little bit. And then again, I'm using my checkered, so I kind of want to come down to about this one. And I think I'm going to go for that one. Okay, so that's how my window's going to look. And I'm going to go all the way. So I'm going to go essentially 2 squares in. That's going to be where my spine is. Now I need to see how long I need to make this. I'm kind of eyeballing where Christmas is, and I kind of need to come along another square. So I'm 2 squares in from either side basically. That's where my window is going to be. I'm going to do the same up the top. So 2 squares in, 2 squares in from that side. And that's where my window is going to be. Okay, so I will rub this out in a moment because obviously I don't want the pencil marks. Or actually I might go over it with a thicker pen, and then it doesn't matter if you can see the outline, does it? So I think I'll make my cuts first and then I'll go over it with a pen. So obviously you want to pick a sharp craft knife. This ruler has a metal edge on it as well, which is really handy. Although I think I'm going to need a different knife for this one. Okay, so I'm going to use this knife. I'm just going to make sure that my rulers are lined up nicely. And I'm just going to again follow that mark. Okay, just going to make sure that it's cut through. It has. Do the same at the top. And down the side. Okay, so again just making sure that that has cut nicely. It has. And then I'm just going to create that bend there. Right, so just to double check, Merry Christmas fits nicely in there. Brilliant, perfect. So I'm going to just push that back, and then like I said, I've got that pencil line, but I'm actually going to go round it, I think, with a black marker. Okay, so I'm just going to use one of my alcohol markers. I think that would be easiest. So again, just making sure that that window's closed. I'm just lining it up with my pencil mark, and I'm just going to go over it then with the black pen. And it just makes it really obvious that this is a window. This bit is optional. You obviously don't have to do this. You might want like a little hidden window. Okay. Oh. Right, so we have our window, it opens out. I think the only thing I want to do is then maybe put something on this side of the window, just so it's not white when we open it. And that's where I'm going to use one of the backing papers. So I think I'll use this one. So obviously we only need a teeny tiny bit. Doesn't need to be huge at all. Oops. So I am going to extend it slightly just so it kind of wraps round a little bit. It just adds a bit more stability as well to that crease. And about there. So I'm going to try and cut as straight as I can with my scissors and hope that that was straight enough. Oh, not bad, not bad. Right, okay, so I'm going to open it up and glue this inside. I'm just going to give it a slight ink on the inside. Just because obviously you're going to see the top, aren't you? And you might see a little bit around the window. Whoops. And I'm going to do the top on this side. Not too fussed about anywhere else really. That'll do. Right, okay. So let's stick this down. Yeah, I do love experimenting with tags and different ways that we can do them. I did do this kind of Advent style a couple of years ago now, I think. And I really loved it, and I wanted to revisit it in some way. I mean, I did do it slightly different. It wasn't quite like this. I think it was an Advent window actually on the tag, whereas this one, the tag kind of goes within the pocket, and the pocket has the Advent window. But yeah, it's the same idea. Okay, so we've got our window like that. Then we were going to have Merry Christmas on the inside. Now that's actually going to get glued in. So what I'm going to do is put Merry Christmas where I want it to be. And then I'm just going to make little lines. Oops, in the corners, just so I know where I'm gluing. Okay, something like that. And again, I'm just going to, I know it looks a little bit doodly, but that's fine because that's the fun part of Christmas, isn't it? So I'm just going to make it look a little bit doodly where my lines are, and then I'm going to add some glue. And then I'm obviously going to have to then ink the back of this. Okay, so not going past those marks. And then just up the sides. All right, and now to try and line it up again. So this is probably the fiddliest part. I think I'm actually going to do it this way. And then we can just stick that down. And obviously, because this now forms the inside of the pocket, we're going to have to ink the back of this a little bit. So I don't need to go all the way down because you're not going to see all the way down to the pocket. But it's just so that when you open it up, it doesn't look stark white. But then, yeah, when you open this now, you have the message Merry Christmas in there like that. Okay, so let's start building this pocket a bit more then. Now I think I kind of want to decorate where this door is. So normally you have a little number on there, don't you? But I don't think I've done numbers on this one. I mean, I've got December 25th on there. So we've got Merry Christmas. I don't want Merry Christmas again. Let's have a look. No, I don't think I'm going to use any of those. See, I've got this from last week. So I could cut off the top of him, and it looks like he's kind of poking out, doesn't it? Let's do that. Not not sure how much I need to cut, so let's see. Okay, yeah. I mean, I know he's a little bit over the door, but that's not a problem. Yeah, so I like him. I'm thinking we should maybe write something on him as well. I'll think about that. Right, let's stick him down. Not obviously going to do the very tip of his head because that hangs over the edge of the window. Excellent stuff. So we've got that. Right, okay, so that's him stuck on. So now to think about the cards that are going to go in. So originally these were the journaling cards that I had, and then you may have noticed from my promo sheet the 4th page isn't on here because that I kind of thought of later when I thought I wanted to do the Advent window and I wanted something inside the window, so that's why you've got those as kind of a bonus page. But I'm thinking I do quite like the dog, so I think I might have the dog as my tag that goes in, and I might have this writing page on the back. I'm going to have to just trim it ever so slightly. So let's bring the trimmer in. Okay, so that's trimmed ever so slightly. And then I'm thinking of having some lace or something at the top, and it also gives you something to use to help pull it out. But I really love that dog, he's so cute. So yeah, I think I'm going to go with that. I mean, you could potentially have a couple of cards, couldn't you? Yeah, so I've got that one as well. And the nice thing about that, although we've got joy there, you've still got some space around the outside to write a message if you wish to. So yeah, so let's maybe make then a couple of journaling cards to go inside. I'm just going to glue the pockets down, I think. Now optional, you can make tabs as well to go on the sides if you want it a fully expanding pocket. I'm not going to do that because I have made the cards narrow enough that you should have enough room to put some glue around the edges. So I'm just going to put a bead of glue up and around there. Oops. And stick that down. I'm also going to ink around the edges. Just where we've got those white edges still. And again, you can do some trimming if you wish to. But I like to use ink to cover up those bits of white. Okay, so we've got that. Then, as I said, I think I'm going to stick that to the bottom there, and then we'll have some lace or something up there. And then we've got this one, whoops, which again I'm going to stick on the back. Yeah, Okay, so let's do those. Okay, so I'm going to have to do a little bit of trimming on that one, but that's fine. Right, so let's just trim this one a little bit. That's a bit better. I think just a teeny bit off that bottom. That'll do. Okay. Right, so we've got those two. Right, so I'm just going to grab some lace and some cheesecloth. And then we can start decorating this side as well. So I'm just going to go and grab some lace and cheesecloth. Okay, so I have gathered some different bits and pieces then. So I've got a little bit of scrap of lace that I've used, I think, from a different project. I've got some cheesecloth, which I think is going to be for the back end. And then I've got this gorgeous green lace, which I was actually thinking could be for this one, because this has obviously got a green back, so I don't want green for that one. But I thought this one would be really pretty, so I might use some of that to go on there. So where's my scissors gone? Just going to first of all neaten up this end. Oops, about there-ish. Okay, and that's going to go just along the top, and then it just adds a little bit of kind of decorative to the top. I mean, I might still put some lace or something on that side. What else do I want actually? Maybe some of this. Okay, so let's get some glue on that part. Now the nice thing about this glue is it's barely art glue, it dries clear. So even though this is quite a sheer material, and we'll show the glue splodging through to begin with, it's not too much of an issue because it will dry clear. And on this side, I don't think I'm going to use glue. Let's put that away. Just give it a twist, make it look a bit more like a bow. And then using my tiny attacher, oops, I'm going to staple that to the top. Right. Now this is quite fiddly until it's stapled into place. Okay, then it looks like that. Okay, right, that's one done. Okay, then this one, I've got this Christmas tree ribbon, which I quite like. So I could use some of this. And I think I might have some of this behind it as well. Or, actually, this almost looks like a banner, doesn't it? If I trim this a little bit. I have those two. Something like that. Then we're going to need a little bit of glue on here. As I said, this stuff does dry clear, so it doesn't matter if you get splodges all over the place. And that's just going to lay on the top. Okay, like that. I'm going to put that to dry for a minute. I will obviously trim off the ribbons. I'm going to put that one to the side as well. Let that dry. Let's come back to this one. So I still want to think what I want to put in there. I have got some cheesecloth. Now I'm not going to need all of this. So I've got that. We've got that, and then I quite like the holly jolly behind as well. I am going to ink around this. I've used this same tartan on this that I've used on here, so that's why I kind of wanted something else behind it. Just wondering if it needs something else as well. Maybe a bit of mistletoe. Right, let's tear down a little bit. Right, I wonder. Now, I'm not very good at tearing, as you're about to witness. Kind of wanted a circle shape. That's clearly not a circle shape, is it? No, that looks awful. Okay, get rid of that. Okay, what I might do, ink this a little bit. And I've got some barn door. So I'm going to add some red to this as well. Right, this is either going to look like something out of Halloween or it's going to work. We will see. Obviously, if it looks completely hideous, we'll just get rid of it. I'm not sure what's going on with those threads. Let's get rid of those. Yeah, I'm not sure that's done anything. That can go. Right. What can we put behind it? I've also got this, haven't I? Which we can use. So we've got some ribbon. and some ribbon. That looks a little bit better, doesn't it? And then once you've got Holly Jolly tucked in there, yeah, that's much better. Okay, I think I'm going to go with that then. Okay, so again, just going to pop some glue down. So a bit there. And this was creased over a bit, wasn't it? And then a bit of glue up here. And then this was glued up there. This on there, and then we had Holly Jolly. Tucked in there. Right, let's see how these bits are doing. So you can already see that's dried clear, that's brilliant. So I'm just going to give that a little bit of a snip on this side, a little bit of a snip on that side. So we've got Joy. And then Santa, I'm just going to give that tinsy ink. Probably should have done this before the ribbon went on, but never mind. Okay, so we've got that one, and then we've got our cute little doggy. Do love him. Reminds me a little bit, actually. My mum's got a dog similar to that. Reminds me of that. Or she used to. She doesn't have the dog anymore. Right, okay. So, there are our 2 tags. So, we can open this up, get our tags in. Obviously where the ribbon is, that's where we can have it hanging out a bit. Oops, just be careful with that if you've got fiddly ribbon like I have. And then that one, well, it depends which way you want it round, really. Doesn't really matter, does it? You can pop that one in, and we can even have the banner hanging over the top of it. Okay, so that's our pocket. So we've got December 25th, Holly Jolly, all decorated on that side. Then here we've got our Advent window. Now I do want to add to this side a little bit as well, because I think this feels like it's missing something. Now I've got these cute little tickets from a project that I was doing for the Rach and Bella collaboration, so I think I might use bits from there. So yeah, so I'm going to use this ticket. I'm going to use that teeny little bit of lace that I've got left. I've just torn off a little piece from here, which I'm going to use. So I'm just going to cut this down. You know, I'm not great at cutting with scissors, but that's not too bad. I can live with that. So I'm just going to give that a little bit of an ink. Yeah, it's been a very busy month because obviously I've got my kit, my challenges going on. I've taken part in 2 collaborations. The Christmas Craft Off, which is Rach and Bella's huge collaboration, absolutely massive. Again, make sure you go and check those out because the inspiration is absolutely incredible as always. There's so many talented people taking part. And I think what I always find fascinating is that we're all using the same papers, but we all come up with a completely different project, and that's always fun to see. And then, yes, I did the collaboration for Elizabeth from Petals and Parchment, and she collaborated with Rose from Wild Rose Bohemian, and they did, oh, it was lovely, Sugar Plum Stories. So it was a Nutcracker theme. I absolutely love the Nutcracker, so that was really wonderful to do. So yeah, go and check that out as well if you haven't seen that already. Right, so I've got this ticket and I think it needs something else in the middle. So I've got one of these, I think they're called candy. They're just basically just almost like paper punches, but I thought that can go on there. Okay, I'm going to have to use my bigger glue because the other one has run out. That's going to be a job after this video is finished, I think. Top up my glues. Okay, so I'm just going to put a blob of glue in there and pop that down on there. Determined to get cheesecloth somewhere in my project, aren't I? That's going to go down first, I think. Okay, and I need something written here. What can I have? I don't know if I like that ticket there now. I'm going to twist it that way. That's a bit better. Right, what can I have? So I've got December 25th. I've got Holly Jolly. So I am going to put 25 in the corner, because obviously on an advent calendar the doors would be numbered. So I'll have 25 there. And a gift for you. Okay, so that's the end of my video. I really love how this little pocket turned out and the journaling cards inside. I really hope that this has given you some inspiration and that you'll enjoy using the freebies too. There are so many different ways that you can play around with these. You didn't necessarily have to create a window like I did, but it was just an idea that I had. Like I said, I've done it a couple of years ago. And it was just such a fun idea. It fits in nicely with obviously the Christmas theme, and yeah, I just think it's such a cute little idea, a nice little addition to a journal as well. As I said right at the beginning, you can find these freebies either in the Non-Stop Papercrafts Facebook group or they are on my Ko-fi page. When you join in with the challenges and post in the group, make sure that you are using the hashtag when you post. As a reminder, if you just use the freebies for your challenge this week, for every post that you make, you get one entry into a prize drawing at the end of the month. If you also use elements from the paid kit, then you will get 2 entries every post that you make in the group. Thank you so much everybody for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day and I will see you all in the next crafty video. Bye for now.